Hi Katharina, great to have you here today, and I'm happy to talk about your paper about parental leave and gender discrimination on the labor market today. And my first question would be, why do fathers hesitate to take parental leave?
Well, from surveys, we know that fathers state financial motives as main reason why they do not take parental leave, which makes sense since we know that in many families, fathers are the primary earners. However, the second most frequently mentioned motive why fathers don't take parental leave is actually the fear to face disadvantages or even discrimination on the labor market afterwards.
And what did you find out, research and find out in your study?
Yeah, so this was exactly the questions that we wanted to analyze. Is the fear of fathers to face discrimination in the labor market after they take parental leave, is that justified? So we conducted a field experiment with which one could detect hiring discrimination in the labor market. And what we found was that when we compare fathers who take short parental leave, so 2 months of parental leave, to fathers who did not take parental leave, we don't find any evidence for discrimination in a hiring process later on. However, when we look at fathers who take longer leave, so 12 months of parental leave, which is relatively rare for fathers in Germany at least. So these fathers who take long parental leaves, for those fathers in some contexts, in particular in male-dominated occupations, we actually do find some evidence for hiring discrimination later on.
So does parental leave harm fathers' careers?
So we cannot make any claims on how the effects of parental leave turn out for their careers in general. But as far as the hiring process is concerned, we do find that in male-dominated occupations, fathers who take long parental leave, that there's some evidence for hiring discrimination. However, what we have a second result where we find even stronger evidence for hiring discrimination, but not due to parental leave, but due to gender. So we compared fathers and mothers with different lengths of parental leave, and we find that irrespective of parental leave, in female-dominated occupations, fathers have a lower probability to be invited for a job interview than mothers. And on the other hand, in male-dominated occupations, irrespective of parental leave, mothers have a lower probability to be invited for a job interview.
And what do these findings imply concerning gender equality?
So our results hint at the presence of deeply rooted social norms concerning the characteristics of ideal employees in certain occupations. So the fact that we find this clear evidence for gender discrimination by occupation type really shows that there are still these prevailing gender norms. And although we find that fathers, if they take long parental leaves, face discrimination or face some disadvantages later on, we still think that policymakers should encourage fathers to take parental leave by increasing financial incentives for parental leave for fathers, for example, because we know that these gender roles that are probably the root for the gender discrimination on the labor market, that they also stem from the unequal division of care work at home. So if increasing financial incentives for fathers to take parental leave could lead to a more equal division of care work at home, could maybe also increase gender equality in the labor market.
Thank you very much, Katharina.
Thank you.